All right, StockPulse Silver Symposium number 3. We're back here in Las Vegas. Actually, first time in Las Vegas, and I got here the economic ninja.
Hey, everybody.
Can I do that too?
Yes, you are totally allowed to. I grant you permission.
So yeah, no introduction here, the ninja here. You got this crowd on fire. Your chalks are loud. They're emotional. There's a lot going on. So we're here. This is the 3rd year in a row. Silver is on the bottom. Joe Brown put the chart up. And like clockwork, and even last year we were in August, and we were at the bottom. So here we are now touching October bottom. So yeah, deliver a message here. Pump people up.
First, the fall comes in the fall always. It's a cyclical trend. It follows a real estate, all kinds of cycles, right? Just like sell in May and go away when it comes to stocks. It is very interesting that 3 silver symposiums, because you always come to me and you're like, all right, Ninja, where are we going to be headed next? I'm like, not good. And you're like, come on, give me something for silver. And Joe Brown showed for 3 silver symposiums, a silver bottoming and then going into a high. Now, this is what's interesting about all these other, this is different. We have worldwide inflation. We have a Federal Reserve that straight up said, you're about to experience pain, and they keep correcting people. When Jerome Powell comes out and talks and says something, and then all of the rhetoric 5 minutes after the meeting, this last spring, they're saying, oh, they're gonna lower rates, and you saw Jerome Powell fire up another emergency press conference an hour later and says, is this mic on? Did you not hear me? We're not stopping this raising of rates. That's different. Now, what blows me away, higher rates means weaker silver and gold prices. However, to say that silver is weak at $22 and gold is at what, $18.50, something like that, is amazing to me, because the last time we saw this, before the Fed finally pivots and lowers, which is not coming this next year, I do not believe, unless we see a 25% correction or greater in the stock market, and I don't believe that's gonna happen because during inflationary times, things get stronger. Stock markets go up, right? But they never truly go up at the real rate of inflation. What is different this time is silver's base is in the 20s right now. The last time when Lehman Brothers went down, we're sub $10. When those bottomed, gold took off from 600 to what, 1900. Silver went from 9 to 48, 45, something like that. But we're sitting at $22 silver and $1,800 gold. That is an amazing base, considering that half the world is trying to destroy our economy right now, and that rates are raising so fast. So I see silver in the future exploding in value. It's not that's not financial advice, because I also know that paper, gold, and silver sell off during a liquidity crisis, and that, as these banks crash, is going to produce a liquidity crisis. With that said, as silver falls and gold falls in paper value, yeah, go try and buy it real quick and see what happens to the premium. So it's a totally different game in the physical versus stock game. And so to be honest with you, I'm super excited about this next year. It's gonna get dark, but when it gets dark, that's when light shines through the most.
Yeah, let's talk about the dark. What does that look like? What does it look like before it gets good?
Everybody believing that the Democrats are gonna win the presidential election. That's gonna be scary. Right up to it's like when Trump got elected, like the night of, like even Hillary Clinton sitting there clapping, they're like, hey, you may not want to clap so much, because they believe they had it. It's going to be very dark this next year, because there's a lot of crisis being put in place, manufactured by the White House and by a bunch of people that want to watch the middle class be drained of their wealth on purpose. So every which direction, you're going to see massive strikes by people that have no clue that it's not their bosses that are making them poor, it's the government and the Federal Reserve. They're gonna find themselves on the street being laid off. And that's already happened. California's new, $20 minimum wage for fast food. Well, that just went into play. But they started making it a law, about 2 years ago? Okay, what's happened since then? There's robots serving your food. You go into McDonald's, there's nobody at the till anymore, because they're back there making Big Macs, and you gotta go and pay on an app or on your on this kiosk. So even before you got your $20 an hour raise or whatever to $20, you're getting laid off. And a lot of it happens through attrition, so people don't realize it. People quit and the company goes, good, don't fill that spot. But we're seeing that with very poorly put out CPI numbers. We know about those lies of CPI, but we're also seeing the unemployment numbers. They're not right. The metrics have been changed to where they're saying, oh yeah, employment's great. You're like, well, those aren't 40-hour work week people. Those are 30-hour work week people. And so everyone's being deceived just enough to we're gonna have so many fires to put out, and that's what they want. They want to be known as the saviors of the world. Oh, we'll give you money. Oh, we'll forgive you a little bit of student debt. We'll sprinkle the people, and then keep the other people hoping they're gonna get forgiven. They want to put out fires like crazy, and it's going to look very scary, even up to the election, because I don't believe you're gonna be able to vote in person. I think they're gonna try everything they can. And the cool thing is, though, with all that scary crap, all I see is opportunities. I'm already seeing friends of mine that have called me and said, why didn't I listen to you in May? I should have sold my house. And it's because, I'm like, you don't know how bad it's gonna get. I already was right with the 8% mortgages. Those are gonna be 10% by June. So what do you think's gonna happen with real estate sales? Everyone's paper millionaires. No, you're not. You're paper millionaires until you try and sell. We'll try and sell your house right now and see how it goes. And so it's the first out the door that gets saved, like that nightclub fire back at Long Island a long time ago. Horrible thing. And why did it happen? Is because everybody ran out as the building caught fire of the 2 doors they came in at. And they all got shoved in that little hole. And they all died in that hole and they suffocated. Where there are multiple exits if you would have known, but you always exit the way you come in. And that's why people always lose on real estate cycles and wealth cycles, because they're always exiting, the way that they came in. And that's not the way to do it. So you got to think differently. And that's why I think gold and silver, even if gold and silver just doubled from here during a real estate crash, you've doubled your purchasing power for real estate if you can have the guts to pull the trigger as everything's on fire.
A double from here? Those are some strong words. I want to hear how this happens.
Just a doubling? Well, we've already seen that in the last cycle, right? $9 silver goes to 48. $600 gold goes to, $1,900 back in 2008 to 2010. So even if we just saw a doubling right now, that's good. So I'm always looking at worst case scenario because I want to de-risk my entire life, my entire portfolio, right? I do that from diversification, and then I also try and take the emotion out of it, because everybody has emotions tied. That's when we always lose. I'll give you an example. I sold, and I made an announcement on my channel. I said last spring, hey everybody, just so you know, I'm selling off a portion of my portfolio. Now I don't dare tell anyone how much I have in my portfolio, because that would give people a boldness to go, if the ninja bought that much stock, they're gonna buy a lot. That's not what I wanna do. But I sold 1/3 of my portfolio off, and I said, I'm gonna buy back all of my, now I do private placements, you know about that. So I invest a little differently than most people, but I pulled it back and I said, I want to buy them back at all of my private placements. I am now there. I am right at or below all of my positions I sold at my private placement entry levels. Even my wife, when I did that, she goes, then what's the use of having all these? I said, because the leverage in the miners are going to be immense, but you better have some winners. Well, there's never been a better time to pick a winner than right now while everything's in the dump. Because you're going to get to see how all these CEOs are spending their money in bad times, how much of them are naked and they don't have the funding. That's the greatest time for me. So that's now I sit back and I'm like, ooh, I'm not going to buy that one because I'm seeing how they're acting in bad times. I'm going to buy this one. So I'm excited about things going bad. It's going to make us rich.
Why'd you start the channel?
Because I knew too much about the future and it scared me. I was scared of, I warned people in churches and stuff and my coworkers. When COVID happened and I watched everybody fall for it, the masses fell. And even I started to fall at first, and I'm like looking at them going, whoa, I'm getting caught up in this craziness. And I'm like, this has got to stop, because I knew about that plan from the Federal Reserve talking about the CBDC, and they're going to implement it during a crisis. And it's a multiple wave kind of rollout. So if you think about it, one of the rollouts was all of the rhetoric, okay, we've officially started and finished the CBDC, which was a lie. They had the code built in 2014. They had it running bank to bank in 2017. They gave enough warning that like, okay, we're gonna do it, we're thinking about it, we're making it, all this stuff. They got everyone used to that idea, and then they put out that rhetoric of, oh, we can't even get the checks to you, in time. That was all a lie. It programmed people. And then Bill Gates kind of said, and he laughed, he goes, hey, the next one you're not gonna be laughing so much at. That's not a joke. When the TED Talk scene comes out, hey, if we get vaccines right, we can eliminate 25% of the population.
I think 500 million is a target audience.
Yeah, and look at what happened that. I mean, we've seen the Georgia Guidestones be destroyed by God. It was so great, they're like, somebody blew it up. It's like, cool, that is the most surveilled building or structure in the country because it has all 4 angles on it. Show me the person. Like, we can't. We just show you the explosion. Oh, and the big flash, that's called lightning. They wrote it in 18 different languages or 12 different languages? Like, we just want to make sure everyone gets it. We want to kill this much of the population. And then it's destroyed. I think this is the most exciting time to be alive. The problem is, how do you encourage people and give them the boldness to step out and do something? So that's why I started the channel, and I had to do everything opposite. I listed all the people on YouTube that were big, and I listed all their qualities. And I kid you not, I said, I'm gonna do the opposite. That guy's got whiteboard, I got cardboard. That guy's got a suit, I'm wearing a polo shirt. I'm never changing my clothes. If this guy drives up in his fancy car, tricycle, and I'm gonna do everything opposite. And then on top of that, because I immediately was filled with people trying to take advantage of me, these bigger YouTubers and stuff, so I said, gotta start helping smaller YouTubers. So I started helping build other YouTube channels, because I'm only one person. So the more you help people, the more you grow, and that's it. And I'm not even afraid to tell anyone that, because that's helping people. So, and that's what's great, because the level of hate that I've gotten in social media is awesome, because when people come against you, it's because they're either afraid of you or jealous of you. And you just got to take that, and that's your fuel, that's your fire. When they make fun of you online, you're like, crushing it. I live in your dome rent-free. So that's why I started the channel, and that's where it's at. It could all be gone tomorrow, you never know. I mean, it's getting big enough to where I have those talks at high levels with people at YouTube that you need to be careful. We like your message, but you need to be careful. I don't know if I can for too much longer, because this next wave coming, they're already wheeling out the bodies out of India, and they're filming it. You're like, they're starting this again. So where do we go from here?
Carve out a message for people who couldn't attend the show. How's the show? And,
yeah, I'll tell you what, if you don't invest in yourself, if you don't take the time and money, and this is an investment for me. I haven't filmed for the last 2 days, right? So obviously lost revenue and stuff. I gladly do it, because I'm sowing into you. And if you don't sow into yourself and take the time to go and buy educational materials, whether it be books or courses or go to a conference, this is the best. Because I'm sure everybody behind can agree, when you meet other people that are like you get fired up. And you don't need the next success code, the next stock tip, the next crypto that's gonna blow up. You need to learn how to find those yourself, and then how to encourage yourself to build that wealth. You're never gonna have that unless your mind and your body are rightly aligned. And you can't do that without being with other people that are rightly aligned. So I highly encourage people to take action now and start investing yourself and get to one of these shows, and don't sit there quiet, meet people, shake people's hands, be vulnerable, and watch what happens. Because I have been to shows like this, and I've just had one person walk up and say, I just want to say something, you may want to do this little thing. And I do it, and my business explodes. So just that one little thing, and everyone's expecting something big stock tip, big something, some speaker to talk big. It's not that. As a matter of fact, everyone's just selling their own book in there, right? And they're like, what do we talk about? I'm like, I don't prepare anything, because I don't want it to be polished. But that's the tip. Get to one of these shows. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know if this will make the cut. Rob, you took a big hit on this show. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. You got a bright future, and you're gonna crush it in the next coming shows, because I've watched you evolve so much and change so much from the very first day I met you. And the reason why I'm here is because I believe in you, I believe in Patrick, and I believe in Gina. And you are gonna kill it. He has so much passion, and he wants to help so many people, that he was down this one thing, and I kept saying, Rob, it's time to widen that road and just go for it. And he's like, and then one day I told you, we're never gonna say anything ever, we're going positive. I'm sorry, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm gonna put you on the spot. You are gonna crush it. And I think you're gonna take wealth conferences and take people like this, that I think are literally flying home and driving home tomorrow, change people, and you're about to start changing it on levels of 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people at a time, and you're gonna crush it, and you're never gonna take another loss. And people need to hear that, because you put your money where your mouth is. And just now, think about it, you put a silver ounce in every single person's hand, and still the ticket was what, 89 bucks. That is an insane value. But the sponsors didn't come. And I'm telling you right now, that's gonna end. The sponsors are coming, you're gonna crush it. So I'm sorry, I don't want to embarrass you. You don't even have to put that in the video.
No,
but
I'll be in there. That's the economic ninja right there. I don't know what to say, but thanks for coming, brother.
God bless
Appreciate
you,
it.
man.
So
Amen.